Okay, so I want to export a song to start working in Reaper. And you could go to download all tracks. It gives you all tracks to download. The problem with this is they come in a format that is hard to manage, and you don't know how to deal with it. So actually, I just recommend you click each track individually and say download, export as WAV. There it is. There's your WAV file. So you just do this for every track. We've done it. And now this is where organization gets really important. Otherwise, this stuff's hard to manage later. So make sure you have a dedicated music folder or like song folder. Maybe you don't have one. Maybe you do. You need one. And then you want to make a folder for each song. And this is stuff from before. It was a bad example. So now I'm going to cut and paste all my waves here. They all live here. And then I just open Reaper. And here's my blank Reaper. This is pretty obvious. Now we can just drag these in. And obviously separate tracks. So here I'm in Reaper. Right mouse dragging is to select. Left mouse moves the cursor. And right is for selection. So just slide them all over. And then I do a pretty good job of, I didn't do it here. Usually I have the right BPM and time signature. So usually you want to mirror that in your program, but otherwise just leave it. It's fine. You're just recording. And then you want to right click, make a new track. This is going to be your bass track. I usually put stuff on the bottom. Over here is your track expansions. This is zooming, obviously. This is our new one. We're going to call it bass. And this is the big thing, options preferences. And then device, under audio device. These are, everything that your computer can render audio with. And our device is ASIO focused, right? You want input 1 and 2 and output 1 and 2. Everything else should be unchecked. And then in the configuration, you want it to go as low as you can. This is how much latency you're going to have. This is like your lag on recording. So the lower the better, but too low is going to sound like shit. I usually just go 120. It's fast enough, and I've never heard a glitch. I could probably go less, but this is good enough for me. So I have all my tracks here. I have my new track I want to record on. I press record to arm it. Here's the track I will be recording from my device. And we record an input too. You see this appears when you arm it, and you can arm more than one thing, and you can choose what input that is, obviously, for multi-track recording. But now we're just doing two things, and I press record. And then this is my track. I made some noise. And here's my recording. Beautiful. And now to render it, what I do is I always use the same portions of the song. So this is the entire length of the song in BandLab. I actually go into insert, and personally I do a region. So I always render this as the song, but otherwise you can just select it. And now you go to File, Render, and first of all, you want to make sure you're not peaking. So, maybe you turned your volume up to record. And you want to turn off arming to see how your track's doing. But so this is still -5, but if this ever gets above negative, it's peaking. So let's say it was like this. I think you get it, but I'm just going to show you. All right, that's bad. This track should never be up there. So turn down until it's good. That looks nice. And then again, I'm in project, or rather file render, source master mix. That's okay for this if you want to solo it. What's even better is going into stem selected tracks. And now you'll see that then here says render 1 file, but I could select 2 or 3 tracks, and it's going to say render 3 files now. And the bounds are the project regions or the custom time range, or the time selection, which would be like this, would be a time selection. or the project regions. And this is what I did. This is what I did this for. This is why I made a region. So I could always just say project regions. There's only one. So if I only have this selected on project regions, this is going to be the base track for the entire output. Sample rate always do 48. Directory, I have a thing I do, and you should follow maybe suit. Go to browse, and here's keep it in the folder that you're working in. So when you hit browse right here, you're going to see like folders that you're working in at the moment. And I made this delete folder. So actually, I didn't save this project yet, which is why those were wrong. So I have this folder called delete. There's my new thing. Now I want to go to render and go to browse. Here's the current folder I'm working out of. And I make a new folder for the renders, and I just type it right in here, stems. And then the file name, this is cool too. I do this wildcard, which is the track name. And now this is going to be called automatically base, which is cool because now if I do like 3 things, they get automatically named the name of the track they are. And you can ignore this completely. Sample rate 48. I always do better. Format MP3. Target 100. And that's it. So this is wrong. This is the master mix. I didn't do selected tracks. And now we see that the rendering lines up with the name, but I told you to ignore it because if you have 2 things selected, it's not really the right name. Like I have 3 things, so it's just telling you the one. Anyway, now I can render this. And now we see this is right because I don't see any stuff, and now I see the tiny amount of noise we made. Show Explorer. And now as we drag this back into bandlab and slide it over, it matches exactly at the project we have.